Okay, here on example 2, we've got an order for potassium chloride, 25 MEQs by mouth daily. And we've got to figure out how many milliliters that we're going to give round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so we've got a label over here for potassium chloride oral solution. And again, it doesn't really tell us anything here, right here on the front about our unit dose concentration, but over here on the side, we can read that each 15 milliliters, which is a tablespoonful, is going to contain 40 MEQs of potassium chloride. So we sit here and think, well, what's a good estimation here? I mean, we are going to have to figure out how many milliliters we're given, but are we going to need 15 mils worth? Remember, we only need 25 MEQs, right? And 15 milliliters is going to have 40 milliequivalents. 40 is too much. It's bigger than our 25 milliequivalents. So we think, well, I'm not going to need all 15 milliliters. I don't need a whole tablespoonful. So, well, we can just have an estimation of less than 15 milliliters. Okay. If you wanted to get it a little bit more accurate, think about maybe dividing by 2. On the last one, we multiplied by 2 because our unit dose concentration wasn't enough. But now it's too big. Okay, that 40 MEQ is too big for our 25 MEQ. So think about dividing by 2 this time. If I divide the 40 milliequivalents by 2, then I'm going to get 20. Now I need 25. So 20 is a little bit too small, but again, it's an estimation here. So remember, if you divide that 40 MEQ by 2, you also have to divide the 15 milliliters by 2. So 15 divided by 2 is going to give you 7.5 milliliters. Okay, so 7.5 milliliters is going to contain 20 MEQs. Again, I need 25, so 7.5 is not going to be enough, but we could estimate somewhere between 7.5 milliliters and 15 milliliters. Should give us 25 MEQs. Okay, so just an estimation to keep in the back of your mind. But if we're ready to do the dimensional analysis, we need to figure out how many milliliters we're going to give. So let's start off with milliliter per dose. And that means our first fraction needs to have milliliters at the top. We get that from our label. The label says 15 milliliters is 40 MEQ. So that puts MEQ at the bottom of our first fraction, which means our next fraction needs to have MEQ at the top. And we said typically that's going to come from your order, as long as the units match, and ours do. So we're going to bring down that 25 MEQ and put it over the word dose, because we were ordered to give 25 milliequivalents per dose. Now, check your units before you start doing your math. Make sure you got everything you think you might need. The MEQs get to cancel. You have milliliter on top, dose on bottom, which was our desired answer. So we are ready to multiply. 15 times 25 is a 375. And on the bottom, we just have the 40. So when we divide those numbers, I wound up with a 9.4, because I'm rounding to the 10th, 9.4 milliliter per dose. Now remember our estimation, we said 15 mils was too much, and we halved it and got the 7.5 milliliter, which was not enough. So we said somewhere between 7.5 milliliter and 15 milliliter. So 9.4 does fit that. So yeah, we're good to go with the 9.4 milliliter.